And one of the main messages of the book is to show that King Abdullah's power is much more significant than many realize or many project upon him. In fact, he's now the longest serving Arab leader since he took power in 1999. So many of his neighboring Arab monarchs or Arab leaders have fallen. So we look at Saddam Hussein to Jordan's east. We look at Bashar al-Assad to Jordan's north, Hosni Mubarak to Jordan's south. We look at Gaddafi. We can go on and on of all the Arab leaders who have fallen, and he has remained. And one of the key reasons for that is because of the strong support he has within Jordan's security forces. We don't have a situation like we did in Syria where there's parts of Jordanian territory that are autonomous, that Jordanian security forces don't have control over, and that ensures that King Abdullah is able to maintain power. King Abdullah himself served in the military for over a decade, so he has very strong relations with the military. And when there have been challenges, the military and the intelligence services have always sided with King Abdullah, not with the opposition. So in 2021, when Prince Hamza launched his sedition affair, it was the army chief who actually went to Prince Hamza's home to tell him that he's now under house arrest, even though that Prince Hamza had some popularity among the Jordanian public. The security forces sided with King Abdullah. In 2023, 2024, there were large protests against the regime about Gaza. And at the same time, the security forces arrested over 1,500 protesters, according to Amnesty International. And that just shows that once again, even though there are many individuals in the country who supported the Palestinian cause, supported the protesters, the military and the security forces and the police are very much on the side of King Abdullah. So he really has staunch support from the security forces. That's another reason why he's been able to maintain power for so long. I would say another one is the fact that he's a monarchy. If you look in the Arab Spring protests, so many of the leaders who have fallen were presidencies, but the monarchies, whether him or in Morocco or in Saudi Arabia or even in Bahrain, they all did much better. So there's something about a monarchy which provides a certain level of legitimacy that the presidencies don't have. I would say also his restrained use of military force has also benefited him and ensured that he hasn't antagonized other leaders across the region to ensure his power has remained. So we've seen time and time again, King Abdullah, unlike his father who launched the 1967 war with Israel and then lost control over the West Bank and East Jerusalem, King Abdullah has refused to send ground troops overseas, and that has ensured his power. Most recently, we saw there's been a lot of push for Arab countries to send their forces into Gaza to be some sort of international security force, perhaps to disarm Hamas militants. And King Abdullah clearly said that that was not an option for his country because he knew that would be very unpopular, whether that would be Jordanian soldiers killing Palestinians in the tunnels of Gaza or Hamas militants killing Jordanian troops. So he said no, and that's been consistent with his entire reign in terms of more of a Jordan first military approach. And then finally, even though Jordanian domestic politics is more authoritarian, it's more of a nuanced form of quashing dissent, unlike what we see with Iraq under Saddam Hussein or Syria under Bashar al-Assad. He's not bombing hospitals, he's not killing journalists, even though parliament remained toothless and he's the one with making all the key decisions. And because he's acting in a more nuanced fashion, that is ensuring that the opposition to his rule is lower and much less violent than we see in other countries in the Arab world. So these are some of the main reasons in the book and some of the messages of how King Abdullah has remained in power for so long. But I would say at the same time, one of the messages of the book is also that he has a positive legacy in terms of bringing stability to his country, but there's a lot of criticisms over two other issues. One is what we've discussed in depth, the political repression, the fact that he promised democratization and he has not followed through in any significant manner. And then number two, most importantly for the Jordanian public, is his failure to improve the economy, the high unemployment rate, the significant debt that the Jordanian government has, and the fact that for so many Jordanians, they don't see any economic future for their children or for themselves either. So his legacy is mixed.